What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Ray Ray coming back at you, Texans 411. Um, as everyone knows, man, Gary Kubiak is now fired, and leads me to a big topic of conversation of possible, quote unquote, um, replacements for this man. Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. Gary Kubiak. It took way too long to get rid of Kubiak, man. There was no other way to describe that. But I have a list of 10 potential head coaches that Houston could go after right now. Now, keep in mind, I think this is subjective because I think, with everything that's going on, this move of McNair firing Kubiak, it's like that game Jenga, man, where you take out a block and hope like hell nothing falls down. Well, that's exactly how McNair is approaching this. But with Kubiak gone and his quote unquote favorite players and coaches that came with him and or have been there way too long, I think that there's going to be a lot more moves made before the end of the season happens. I would not be surprised to see Rick Dennison gone, the offensive coordinator. I would not be surprised to see Marciano gone, the special teams coordinator. And even if they're not gone by before the end of the season, they will not be back. I guarantee it next season. There's no possible way. Those were kind of Kubiak's boys that they all coached together for many years and know each other and all this other shit. As I've said in one of my other videos on my other channel on RayRay722442. But I gotta be honest with you, man. During Bob McNair's speech, he pretty much made a clear cut of what he wants, man. And he said Case Keenum's his quarterback. So all you people thinking that quarterback is going to be picked in the first round as the first pick overall, not going to happen. It is not going to happen. There's no possible way that they will take a quarterback. I keep going back and forth on this because I keep going, damn, well, I don't know, man, if the new coach coming in is going to want to stick with Case. But we're looking at this from a different angle. Though Bridgewater is in a class by himself in this year's upcoming draft, I don't believe that they're going to go after Bridgewater strictly because they're not really looking for a franchise quarterback right now. Like I said, this is a transitional team, meaning they're not the worst team in the league because of the players they have. They're the worst team in the league because of the coaching they have. They have all pros on both sides of the ball. There's no denying that this team, if you asked all 32 teams in the NFL right now, if you thought Houston would be 2-11 right now at this point in the season, all of them, every one of them would say there's no freaking way. There's no way with the amount of talent. It's like watching the Chiefs from last year. They had all this talent around them, and then they had shitty coaching. Oh, guess what? Andy Reid comes in there, and they're a fucking playoff contender, possibly a Super Bowl contender this year. Same shit could happen with Houston. I need Houston fans to understand that this is not a team that is bottom of the barrel in talent. This is a team that has talent that has shitty coaching, which is what we're trying to get rid of. Now, I'm going to go over just my point of view of who the possible head coaches could be for the Houston Texans in the next coming season. Bob McNair says he wants a head coach that has NFL experience, a proven winner, and is not a player's coach, meaning that he can delegate and he can make those tough decisions that Kubiak's ass couldn't make. I mean, if you watch that Bob McNair press conference, he looks pissed, man. That's just my opinion. He looks pissed, let down, frustrated that it's even come to this point. He said he didn't want to do it, but it had to be done. And in my mind, it took him way too fucking long to even come to that realization. He should have done that after the first Jags loss. I mean, that's just my opinion. But anyways, I'll get into those coaches right now. Look at it. From my point of view, they're not getting rid of Wade Phillips, man. They're not getting rid of him. Or else I just don't see that happening. With that in mind, they're not going to bring a defensive coordinator type coach to the team because then Wade Phillips and that head coach would have conflicting ideas, and then the head coach would have the final say, and Wade Phillips is going to be sitting there waving his dick in the air. That's not going to happen. I don't think so. Like a lot of people are saying, well, what about Mike Zimmer, the defensive coordinator from the Cincinnati Bengals? Though I think Zimmer would be a great coach. You know, he's kind of a no nonsense guy. He's been around the league a while. He's obviously taken Cincinnati's defense to another level just in the short time he's been there. But once again, conflicting ideas. His defense is a lot different than what Wade Phillips' defense is. Um, so I don't know. You know, Wade Phillips' defense is he strictly relies on outside linebacker pass rush to get to the quarterback in man-on-man coverage with a single safety over the top. You know, and another safety in the box. Zimmer's the other way around. Sometimes for the most part, he plays a lot of cover two deep. He plays a lot of multiple deep fronts, meaning that he's not a committed 3-4 defensive scheme type coach, or a 4-3, or even a 4-6. 3-3-5, whatever fucking defense you can think of. He plays multiple sets, multiple defenses. So once again, conflicting ideas. I don't think it'll be Zimmer. Ray Horton, he's actually the defensive coordinator for the Browns right now. Ray Horton was actually actually he how can I put this? He was with the Browns, and then I think he was expecting. I mean, not the Browns. He was with the Cardinals, and then he was replaced after Hunt left the Cardinals, and then he went to the Browns. Well, the Browns this year, everyone expected the Browns to just up and lie down and die, but they have a decent record considering the talent they have on their team. He does pretty similar things to Wade Phillips, but I don't see him as a head coach. I see, if anything, I'd see Wade Phillips as the head coach and him as a defensive coordinator. So I don't think he's more of a head coach kind of guy that they would want to bring in as far as that. Now, with that said, Todd Bowles, he's the defensive coordinator for the Cardinals who took over for Mr. Horton. Well, I mean, the Cardinals defense, they have some great athletic playmakers. I don't really think, and he doesn't have much of a, I don't know, I don't think he has much of a track record to get the head coaching job. So I would kind of just knock him off the list and not even think about it, and then just kind of go from there. The one coach that everyone is talking about, and I've been saying it for the last couple weeks, actually, before this shit even hit the fan, is Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith is from Texas. He's from Texas. He's from Big Sandy or some shit like that. Texas. He would love to come here. He's the kind of McNair type coach that he would love to have. Not a player coach, but he's got a winning record as a head coach. He's like 83-64 versus Kubiak, who was 61-64 in his tenure at Houston. He's a sub 500 coach, and he lasted that long. Did you know that Gary Kubiak was one of the highest reigning? I should say one of the what do you call it? The longest tenured, one of the top 5 longest tenured head coaches in the NFL, behind I think it was like Tomlin and obviously what's his name? Bill Belichick and shit like that. I mean, that's saying something, man. For McNair to stick with a guy that long for as many as the 5 horrible seasons he had, including this one. I mean, it says a lot to him, and I think Lovie would appreciate that. He was 81-63. He was fired after going 10-6 with Chicago when they missed the playoffs. How do you fire guys 10-6, man? I don't understand that. But anyways, the big knock on Lovie in Chicago was that he has he likes his defenses, but he doesn't really mix well with the offense, meaning he's more of a conservative type head coach on offense, which is kind of Kubiak-ish. But if you bring an offensive coordinator in here with Lovie Smith that can take that kind of pressure off Lovie and not even have him worry about it, I mean, How's that any different than when Kubiak wouldn't even watch the defense on the field when he's talking about offensive shit for the next six? I mean, to me, Lovie Smith seems like he matches everything McNair said in his press conference that he wants. I don't think Lovie and Wade will clash because they've been around so long that they'll probably share ideas. And I think Lovie will respect Phillips enough to say, you know what, I'm not gonna fuck with your defense, but because I have to worry about being the head coach of the football team. That's why Lovie Smith was such a great coach, is for that very reason. I think with that said, I think Lovie is the front runner as the head coach of the Houston Texans. Behind him, I would probably go with Dave Tobe. He's the Chiefs special teams coach. He actually was interviewing for the Chiefs job last year, and then Reed got it, but then Reed hired him on as a special teams coach because he's a great coach. Not only that, but he's a special teams coordinator. He's not a defensive coordinator. He's not an offensive coordinator. All he worries about the special teams. Hell, that fills a void for Marciano's ass when he's gone. Why not? Should take a chance on him. He's just he's kind of a he's kind of one of those coaches. Just like, you're a special teams coach. How the hell could you be a head coach? But he's got kind of that around the league. He's known to have one kind of like a hardball kind of attitudes. Like, just like, he's there for the players, but he'll jump in their ass and they do something stupid. He's that kind of guy. I mean, if anyone, I would put him right behind Lovie Smith. Once again, I put in a call to Jon Gruden. Hey, bro, what do you think about maybe coaching the Texans? Name your fucking price. But realistically, he's got a pretty cush job as an analyst for ESPN. He's got his little QB, college QB thing that everyone likes when the draft comes around. I don't know if that would be a big issue. And then, the last guy that I'd pick as a front runner for the head coach of the Houston Texans, I like Herm Edwards, man. I think Herm Edwards got a bum rap when he was coaching, man. The way his career ended as a coach was pretty shitty. It was pretty slidey, but I won't go into it. But I think Herm has a good idea, and he's always defended Houston. If you watch any of my other videos on my other channel, he's always defended Houston about, this team is on the verge of doing something great. If they just put it all together, they just need coaches to come together and just not, back him up. I mean, he's just one of those guys, that I think given another shot could do some good. But then again, that's the only reason. But he's like fourth on my list on who I'd want to be the head coach of the Texans. So, though I like him, realistically, it probably won't happen. All right, with that covering the head coach position, with those guys in mind, obviously, with Marciano and Dennison gone, they're going to look for coordinator, special teams guys. Well, if you could do the Tobe guy, hell, why not bring him in? Maybe groom him as the assistant head coach or something like that. But then again, I would not want to do that because Kular, the defensive line / assistant head coach right now, has done a great job since he's been at Houston. I don't know. That's just me. Oh, and another thing about Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith started his defensive coordinating as a linebackers coach. That gets rid of fucking Reggie Herring. Oh, my God. I would love to get rid of Reggie Herring, man. I'm sorry, man. Our linebackers, other than Brian Cushing, man, our linebackers suck ass, man. I really, really, really would like to have a coach in there that could just take that linebacker core, flip the shit out of it, like kind of what happened in San Francisco when Singletary came on and started doing a linebacking coach for the 49ers. That was the year that they drafted two linebackers that same year. I think it was either the same year and the year after. I think it was Navarro, Bowman, and Willis. And look at them. They're fucking one of the best linebacker corps in the fucking league. Anyways, I'm getting off that. Offensive coordinators. If you bring those Lovie Smith in and you keep Wade Phillips, you have a spot open at special teams and offensive coordinating. The top 5 off the top of my head of people I would like to come in as offensive coordinator It's just really hard. This was a really hard concept for me because it could also be head coaches, and people could try to go after him as a head coach too if they want to put that kind of gamble on him. But anyways, we'll go from there. David Shaw, Stanford's head coach. He's got a pretty good thing going with Stanford right now. I don't know if he would want to leave Stanford to come to Houston, but he's got the McNair kind of offensive coordinating. He's a run first to open up the pass type of coach. Would fit good for this kind of offensive scheme, considering bulk of our Houston's line is Arian Foster to the left, Arian Foster to the right, play action to fucking Andre or DeAndre. So he would fit the scheme overall for that. But once again, that's number 5. He's kind of a long shot. I don't think he would leave Stanford for Houston, to be honest with you. Adam Gase, Broncos offensive coordinator. This guy is one of the youngest coaches in the NFL. He's like 35 years old. He deserves credit because he's one of the young up and coming coordinators in the league right now. He basically revamped the Broncos offense for Tim Tebow when Tim Tebow was there. Tim Tebow leaves. They get Peyton Manning. So what does he do? He revamps his offense again, and they're destroying people this year. Destroying people. If you get any kind of approval from a future Hall of Famer like Peyton Manning said he's one of the brightest and most unbelievable coordinators he's ever been with. Holy shit. If Peyton Manning is saying that, you've got something fucking going on. I'm sorry. There's no reason why Adam Gase should not be considered as the offensive coordinator for Houston Texans next year. Could you imagine what this guy would do? What this guy would do with this offense? It would be fucking incredible. It would be just nuts. No, anyways, that's number 4. Number 3, Greg Roman from the 49ers offensive coordinator. Same thing, same concept. He had Smith, not very much, an option runner type guy. Then all of a sudden Kaepernick comes in. Yeah, though they're not doing as good as everyone anticipated them to do this year, he's done a remarkable job for the 49ers offense, considering most of his wide receivers get hurt or injured or doing something stupid. They're still producing. I mean, you can't say enough about it. I just think that he has just great overall skills that just help him become a great candidate, a very hot candidate, actually, around the league. He's kind of considered one of the hot catches in the up-and-coming head coach field. Number 2, man, I spent a lot of time thinking about this, and I wasn't sure I was going to do it, but I think I'm going to go ahead and throw his name out there, even though I don't think it's going to be a remote chance of us even coming close to grabbing him. But the head coach from Oregon, oh God, man, I had his name, I forgot it. Damn. Anyways, head coach from Oregon right now. With the success, I guess you could call it success, that Chip Kelly's having with Philadelphia this year, spread offenses are becoming a premium. A lot of coaches are being talked to as far as moving. I know Oklahoma State's head coach is talking about being on the move. Bob Stoops has even been in the mention about that. And of course, I would not want Bob Stoops because I can't stand Oklahoma, and therefore I can't stand any Stoops. There's I don't think he'd come, but if he did come, and Mariota came out of the draft, I don't know, man. Chances are that might be a potential pick, but they're not as exciting as I am for the very first one. Offensive coordinator for Houston needs to be Ken Sumlin. McNair has already stated he's sticking with Case. He's already stated that. What better than to bring the man in that coached him his entire collegiate career? Hands down. I know A&M. I know as an A&M fan that would destroy me because he's putting A&M on the map, but that you can score 50 points a game, but if your defense gives up 60, you're going to lose every time. And I think he's finally coming to grips with that and understanding that concept because A&M's defense is fucking horrible. Anyway, to get off topic. Ken Sumlin, to me, is probably the best offensive coordinator at this point that Houston could possibly go get. Case knows his system frontwards and backwards. They could run hurry up. Literally changes the entire dynamic of the Houston offense, which is what this offense needs. Now, the problem with this is that Arian Foster would probably be really pissed off because he wouldn't get his carries or his touches. Tough shit. At this point, I'm so over Arian Foster. I gotta be honest with you. I wouldn't even care what he thought. Not for the first couple seasons with a new offensive coordinator. I mean, this guy has put in just a few months or a few years that someone's been with A&M has put A&M back on the map in college football and actually competing at a high level in the SEC. Let me put you this way: do you think Texas A&M would not be in the Big 12 championship this year if they were still in the Big 12? They would be fucking killing people. They would be killing people. It would be, I'll tell you right now, one of the best games of the season in my mind to watch would be A&M versus Baylor. That would be a fucking crazy game because both of them have great coordinators, great head coaches. There's another guy. I mean, maybe Houston could go after Art Briles, head coach from Baylor. Chances are he won't leave because he's literally built Baylor football. Baylor football was non-existent in Texas for many, many, many years. And all of a sudden, this guy comes in and he's got people nonstop throwing for 5,000 yards like almost all the time. And all of a sudden, wide receivers from the state of Texas are no longer going to Texas Tech or UT. They're going to A&M and Baylor because of the offensive coordinating because they throw the ball a lot. It was, I think Ken Sumlin would bring a dimension to Houston's offense that would be crazy. Now, they would have to come out of pocket to retain him as a coordinator. I don't know if McNair's going to want to put that kind of money into it. And not only that, but I don't know if Lovie Smith would want him on there, if Lovie Smith ended up getting the head coaching job. Anyways, to make this long story short, because this video has already gone on for 20 fucking plus minutes, there are many possibilities out there. Realistically, what as a fan, what I would love to see is Lovie Smith as the head coach. Unfortunately, Wade Phillips is going to be there still. I would love to see Dave Toub as the special teams coordinator / assistant head coach, and I would love to see Ken Sumlin as the offensive coordinator for A&M. To me, if you've made a commitment as an owner to a player, such as Case, you have to give him the best chance to succeed. Ken Sumlin gives him that best chance, either as an offensive coordinator or even as a head coach. But once again, McNair wants NFL experience. So that's what's going to kind of cause Ken Sumlin to kind of go, I don't know if I want to leave A&M. But anyways, that's what I've got for this video. I had to make a video because of the whole Kubiak thing. It's about fucking time. Jesus, it took way too long. Anyways, like, subscribe, leave comments. Real close to making our draft video. Oh, man, we're so close. We'll definitely have it up before Christmas. So this is Ray signing off. Hey, peace.